Hey everyone, I hope you're doing super well today. So today's session is a bit special. This is something that we wanted to try. It's something new, and it's a chance for you guys to speak to people that have been part of the Gaming Academy before, get their input, their insight, etc., etc., and see what kind of tips and tricks you can have when making your first game, when joining your first team, all of this stuff. So please help me welcoming both Lean and Ahmad, who have been part of the Gaming Academy for quite a few years now. If I'm not mistaken, I think Lean's gonna start for a bit, tell us a bit about her experience. Then Ahmad's gonna do the same, and then we're gonna open
Mhm.
the floor for questions. So anything that you have to ask about regarding the Gaming Academy, anything you would like to see, etc., it's gonna be all for you guys. So yeah, Lean, Ahmad, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello. لحظة. Let me figure out how this works again. Okay. Do you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So, hello. Welcome to the Gaming Academy experience. So I'm Lynn. I'm a gamer who makes games. The gamer part came way first. I started playing Sims 4 when I was 4 years old, and I got really into horror when I was a teen, and I'm currently playing Expedition 33, which I know I'm super late for. Anyway, I've been a part of the Gaming Academy since 2021. I was a participant in the very first one, a volunteer for the next two, and then a participant slash cheerleader for the next. And finally, I have a dog called Kai. He's not relevant, but I wanted to show him off to you. So, um, before the Gaming Academy, I did try game dev. In 2020, I downloaded Unity, followed a Brackeys tutorial, and I made a little game I called Cute Cube. I'm not sure why, it's a blue cube that is just avoiding obstacles. There is nothing cute happening. Anyway, my first reaction to my first ever game was basically, okay, cool. Anyway, I closed Unity and didn't really think about it again. By then, Um, I joined the Gaming Academy in 2021. To me, it felt like a second chance at something I'd given up on way too fast, and it was also a chance to join a local community of people who liked the same things that I liked. Well, I went all in, and I joined every lesson, participated in every exercise, and asked a stupid amount of questions. I was having the best time. That year, I got lucky and made it to the finalists. My teammate and I got the chance to be mentored by someone from Blizzard. I was a big Overwatch player at the time, so I kind of lost my mind over it. Man, no, I don't think it actually worked on Overwatch. Anyway, we were making Diminuendo, a musical, story-rich game that I still cherish so much. We got to talk to a bunch of cool people from totally different corners of game dev through the Gaming Academy. This helped us finalize the design and start building the game. But we didn't end up finishing it. The scope was just way too big for a team of two at our level. Bess, I'll get back to that in a couple of slides. So, what happened after? After the years I followed the Gaming Academy that I first joined, I worked on my own little silly games, moved abroad, and started freelancing in game dev, my first paid work from this hobby of mine. And I worked on a bunch of really cool games like Nemoid, Nothing Is Known, Overclock, and now I'm working on Libby. For me, every door here has a little Gaming Academy sticker on it. عشان هيك you'll see me coming back here for every rerun, and I'm very excited for the chance to be a part of this day. Now I'm going to be sharing some tips that I hope can help. So, أول شي, be excited always, but also be reasonable with your scope. This is what I was talking about when it came to diminuendo. Dream big, أكيد, but when you're just starting out, keep your first project small. Don't try to recreate Skyrim. That's how you actually finish your games instead of leaving them half-built. Second of all, be curious. Join the sessions, even the ones you think aren't for you. A coder gets so much from understanding how the art, the story, the music come together. Same goes the other way, it all connects. Third of all, ask. Any question you have, just ask it. Everyone here is so friendly and genuinely wants to help. Stupid questions don't exist. Fourth, show up even when you don't feel ready. Just because you might have missed a lesson, don't let that turn into missing five. Come confused, unprepared, come having done absolutely nothing, just come and have fun. And finally, be a part of the community. Follow along the exercises, join discussions, get involved. That's a big part of what makes the Gaming Academy what it is. That's all for me. The story started with a silly little cube and became something I adore being a part of. Thank you for listening. I'm excited to see what you guys make this time around. Oh, I left some of my socials here. كل شيء. And I'll leave the floor to Ahmed now.
Hello. Lovely presentation, though mine is not as
Thank
pretty.
you.
So you guys got to see the pretty stuff. Maybe then I show my stuff now. I apologize for it being not as pretty. Can you see my screen share? Okay, perfect. So again, welcome to the Gaming Academy experience. I am Ahmed Fouad. You can also call me Moose. I'm a game designer and sound designer, and at the moment I'm volunteering for the Gaming Academy. I always love games, again, since I was a child, basically. Later, I became a sound student or sound design student in High Cinema Institute, like for film and interactive media and etc. But I've always been like obsessed with game design and had always opinions on the games that I played on and their design decisions, etc. I knew it felt good. So I analyzed games. I knew what felt good, but I never knew how to approach it in a systematic or in a structured process or anything like that. So I never knew how to actually make a game because I just did not know what's the structure of a game and how the process is to make it. So I had the passion. That's not the thing I was missing. I was just missing the direction. I did not know how to do it. Then we go forward to 2023. I made my first game. I participated in the Gaming Academy on their third run, and I made my first game. At the time, I already was using Unreal Engine 4 and 5. Actually, it was a transition between the two. But I decided to not use Unreal Engine because at the time I only used Unreal Engine for a side job that I was doing, which was virtual production. So it did not have all the stuff that was about games, and it would not be my first game. My first game should be something that I can finish. So I decided to go with a 2D game, like people typically recommend, and I decided to use an engine that I've never used before, which was Godot. I also had to lead my team because just frankly, no one wanted to lead the team. And I made countless mistakes from picking people that were not really as passionate with me about the game, or just bad communication between me and my teammates, bad implementation, and just picking an engine a new engine for you to begin with is also kind of not a very wise decision. Maybe you should pick something a bit easier if that fits your scope more. But I made a lot of mistakes, especially one of the bigger ones was the scope. But something that I found out through that gaming academy was that my dream of becoming a game developer or becoming something, making games on indie double A or triple A level was something possible. I met so many people, so many amazing people from the Middle East that made it to basically to make all my dreams or all the things on my bucket list like come true. So it wasn't a fantasy; it was hope. I came back around in 2024 in the Gaming Academy on their fourth edition. And I came back with a stronger foundation. Everything that I learned throughout the first time and in between, I tried to apply it. And I focused more on actually learning to make the things that I like, which was 3D games. Not just like proving if I could make a game or not. So then for the team and the project, I did make my first game in 3D on Unreal Engine 5. It was a bigger project. I had a bigger team, and but most importantly, I had way, way better communication. I communicated as much as I could with the team. I led them very, very much throughout every single step. I was very involved in basically every aspect of the game. Took on more than just design. In my first game, I only did design and some light dabbling with technical art stuff, but it was mostly design. But this time, I took more than just design. I took design, sound, visual art, some gameplay programming, some optimization, leadership, art direction, and etc. So being a designer is also means that you're wearing so many different hats and doing things that sometimes you would not really typically uh, want to be doing, which leads to thinking like a designer. I decided designing with scope. So the idea is maybe you want to make a game like for my first 3D game was a game that's a Sekiro like. So let's start making Sekiro. No, that would not make sense because then I cannot finish that game within the time requirement. So the scope needed to be so much tinier. So I focused on what makes this game what I want, and I just made as much of it as I could within the scope, within the duration. So I designed to make to finish games and not designed to, make the best game possible. And I started planning for expandability. I started planning with, okay, how could I make this work better in the future? Do I keep using this technique, which I know will be deprecated in the future, or something like that, which also leads to building good development habits. Sometimes you should just you need to like have good practices in game development overall. Honestly, not just in game development and making anything. You need good habits because there's people that made mistakes before us and they taught us the better habits so we don't fall into the same mistakes, whatever they are. Additionally, communicating became a part of the game design process. When you're designing, a lot of the times, or basically all the time, that design needs to be implemented one way or another, or someone else will read it one way or other on another. So if you do a bad job communicating that design, you're doing bad job making that design to begin with. If the design does not get implemented the same way that you had intended it, it's just you designed it properly, but you communicated it badly. Therefore, it's a bad design or it's a bad execution of the design. And then everything around the game. I invested more time in networking. That's something that I didn't do on the first time around, which was a mistake. The gaming academy is a huge opportunity for networking. So I invested way more time into communicating. I tried to continue learning outside of the bootcamp. I found out that by the time that there was something called the Gigs program, which Ash maybe could talk more about it, and I'll talk more about it like in the next slides. But I tried to keep chasing opportunities to improve myself and learn this time around even more. And then started shaping and planning for my career direction, building my portfolio, realizing, maybe I need to start making more games, need to participate in more game jams, and etc. And the game that year that I made was Blades of Babel. You could go look it up on my portfolio website. It's a pretty cool like 15-minute gameplay game. Depends on the tutorial is not very good, so maybe it could take you a little while. But it's there. But more importantly, the thing that I learned, and that was the most valuable thing that I learned, is the ability to learn. It's the ability to teach myself something. Because frankly, you're never gonna know everything, and you're never gonna have people around you all the time that could teach you anything. So sometimes you're gonna need to do this one thing that you don't know how to do or don't know how to approach. You need to have the ability or the flexibility to try to look through it, to learn how to read documentation, if even as an artist, and so on. It's the golden ability in basically making anything come to reality. Now, beyond the Gaming Academy, which is today, I landed my first career job in game design late last year. I expanded my portfolio, and at the moment, after I finished my bachelor's degree, I'm looking for my next opportunity for maybe another position, or I start working on my own project that hopefully would suffice me from the career aspect of things. And for growth, I found my passion in combat design and systems design. It brings me a lot of happiness to work on a design in a systematic behavior. And these two subcategories of design kind of really feel like they're genuinely the most fun things for me to work on. So I found these. They're truly my passion. And became more confident leading my teams, communicating very like all my ideas properly, making sure everyone is on the same page, being able to handle people from all different type of personalities and communicating with them and communicating between them. Because a lot of the times people are going to clash between each other. And frankly, that's just not something that you really want to deal with within a team. And it's hard to find a team that all of them are in sync together. So being the communication tool in the middle simplifies a lot of things in the middle. And I wore even more hats, more visual art, more technical art, more sound. And now taking the things that I learned in college, sound design, and implementing them into games. Same with music, same with programming, learning more technical stuff, and etc. And for the community, I became a Gigs mentee back in 2024, 2025. I don't remember when we did the Gigs program. And I got to build my connections through it by tenfolds. I expanded my connections by tenfolds during those few months, and I learned combat design during those few months as well with my mentor, which will be a guest later this year. I'm really excited about that. Additionally, I became a volunteer for the Gaming Academy because, frankly, this is also an opportunity for me to build my connections, to meet all of you guys, and it's something on my resume. It's something on my portfolio that I volunteered for this great cause, and it is also something that brings me pleasure because, frankly, this is an opportunity for all of you guys, and I want to be able to help you guys just like the people that came before me help me. And try to continue to learn from the community. I always show my work to others, and they always provide me with feedback. No matter what is the feedback, a lot of times you have to find the good, the good within them. Now, my final advice to you guys: the most important thing that the Gaming Academy is an opportunity. It is an open door, and it is up to you to walk through them. You're gonna make the best out of it, or you can make the worst out of it. You could just not utilize it as much, but I do recommend you to try to learn from it as much as you could. Try to build connections, communicate with people, stay in touch, and etc. Don't be afraid to fail. Mistakes is a part of the process. You're gonna keep making mistakes. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes all the time, all the time. Till now, I myself make mistakes, and I people that I look up for that look up to are also making mistakes. The most important part is to learn from those mistakes. As long as you learn from them, there is no shame in making any mistake. Build connections, talk to participants, volunteers, organizers, guests, etc. It's really important to build connections in our industry. And the participants right now, tomorrow they're going to be people in the industry, volunteers. Some of them are people in industry organizers and guests are also people in the industry. Just talk to them. Through them, you're going to meet even more people, and so on. It's a slippery slope of good connections. Uh, Another thing is you need to stay passionate and stay adaptable. As much as maybe for me, I love making game design, but for me to finish a design, for me to make a full game, I need to wear even more hats. So I do what I love, but to make what I love come to light, I need to do things that would not be what I prefer. So I adapt. I have to be adaptable to do these things, such as leadership. If there is a team, there's leadership. Well, it's kind of hard. So it's better that you become the leader of your group because if there is a leadership problem and you're not the leader, well, it's not your own mistake. It's not something that's in your control. It's out of your control. So you might as well take that leadership or take that hat, and then if there is a problem with that, well, it's in your hands to fix it. It's you're in control to fix those problems. And like I said earlier, learn how to learn. It's the most valuable skill. It isn't really like because you can't really know everything and you can't always find people to teach you things. So just learn how to learn. Read documentations. Um, find tutorials. Find people to ask, actually. That's also another thing. But again connected to connections. Um, and that's it for me. I hope I was helpful in any way, shape, or form to you guys, and we can now start the Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Lean, so much. This was really, really great, honestly. Gonna add myself as a pin over here as well.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I
thank
think
you.
honestly, you guys covered most of the advice that I would have given everyone as well. Um, I guess if I'm gonna add anything to what y'all were saying, I would also say that, um, yes, sometimes the sessions that we have might not be as interesting or as like something that you might care about, but the people that you will meet are what matters the most, to be honest. As Lean said. As Ahmed said, come in and making the games that you want to make within a scope and within a program such as the Gaming Academy is something that's super, super helpful, because you will get the chance to do something in a closed environment, and you'll do something with a deadline, and you'll do something with an external push, basically. As they mentioned, we will be taking questions. But until then, I actually have a question for both Ahmed and Lean. So,
Yes.
you guys have joined the Gaming Academy in your own rights, and you've been helping out as much as you can. But not just for the Gaming Academy, like how has working with the GA or through the GA helped you with your community work or with helping others as well make their own things? Whether it's an individual or like an entire group of people in one way or another. And Ahmed, I know you're a part of the EGD, for example. Like, how has the Gaming Academy or EGD affected each other in one way or another?
For me, with the EGT, like the Gaming Academy was a channel for me to recommend people to ease themselves into to start with gaming, with like making games, or to expand their knowledge about games. A lot of people here today actually are all people from the Gaming Academy, from EGD server, the community. Um and there a lot of them were people that either I suggested to come, or they were curious about hearing about it, and I always just would direct them to here, because it is truly a an opportunity that not a lot of places provide.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Great. Lean as well, some of the games that you mentioned you worked on, and like the jobs you got, how much of this was like in a way through the gaming academy or something of the sort? Like, did the connections that you gained through the gaming academy help out in some way or another?
So actually, my current job, I met Montasim through the Gaming Academy 2022 because he was a mentor back then. And we connected back then. And then Shifto on work with indies, and I was like, hey, but that could be fun to work together. So it's directly correlated to what I'm currently doing. Otherwise, I think, it made me more open to like saying yes to opportunities. I think I was more shy and anxious من قبل خاصة in a field where I don't really know much. And أنا فدت I really knew nothing about game dev except the one Brackeys tutorial I followed. But so no. فهيك it helped me put myself out there. It also helped a lot that people were so kind and accepting. But that definitely helped grow my confidence and reach out to job opportunities وما أخاف basically.
Hey,
بس
it's very
هيك.
important. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad to hear that actually. I forgot about Usat Motasam in his game because like I was like I recognize the game's name, but I'm not sure from where. But that's really, really cool
Yep.
actually. Okay, that's wonderful.
Actually, if you don't mind me adding, the first job that I landed was also one of the people in that team was an ex-participant of the Gaming Academy, and they were like, "Oh, I've heard of him somewhere. He's probably somewhere someone good." So yeah, it's also very similar to that.
Okay, that's amazing. خلاص guys, like and the gaming academy is gonna be like a funnel for you guys to later on get jobs. So make sure you attend all the sessions, meet all the people, connect all the connections, etc., etc. Um, well, actually, what's cool about this as well is if you guys check the server, you're gonna see that we have a lot of different tags. So some of the tags we have for people are volunteers. We also have organizers, and we have mentors for and judges. So some of the mentors are basically people from the industry. So if you look them up or if you have questions about these people, we can connect you to them. For that's something that's really cool. Well, Ahmed also mentioned something about gigs. So to give you again a brief overview, gigs is the game dev initiative for the Global South. We're starting with the Arab world first, but then we're going to expand after that. The idea is to match mentors with mentees in a one-on-one kind of session. So, if you guys do well through the gaming academy and you're interested in expanding your career later on, Gigs comes in and actually puts you in contact with a mentor. And anyone that's like been through the gaming academy, it's not that they get priority, but it's more like we know that you guys are actually going to put in the effort, and so we match you with mentors that will also put the effort to help you out. For it's like a مش double-edged sword. It's like the opposite of a sword. It's like a double-edged ice cream cone. You get sweetness from both sides. I don't know, something of the sort.
It
Um,
worked.
yeah, I guess. For yeah, but this is something as well that you guys
The double
should
scoop
check out.
ice cream.
Double scoop ice cream, 100%. One for you, one for your mentor. Um, I also know that we have quite a few people from different countries as well. For like, I know that Jana, for example, in the chat is from Jordan. I know Lean is currently in Europe. Sarah, I think you're in Lebanon? Question mark. And I know we have like quite a bunch of you as well from Egypt. So كمان يعني make sure that the more of you that can help others, the bigger the community grows. Well, part of the reason we made the Gaming Academy in the first place, other than to help people learn how to make games, is to strengthen the basis of game development in the MENA region and the Arab world. The point of this is to give people a bigger opportunity to start something and slowly start to build their way up. So as Ahmed mentioned, it's very, very important for you guys to learn to learn how to learn. But for me, I personally struggle a lot with learning how to start. Like for example, right now I'm learning how to crochet, and it's very hard because I have no idea how to hold the string. I don't know how to hold the thing. I don't know how to do anything basically. But I know that as soon as I'm able to get the first couple of stitches in and like do them confidently, then I'll be able to work forward with that and learn from other tutorials. For the point of the gaming academy is to give you the most basic thing. So we have a question for Ahmed actually. And it is you said your first game was with Godot, and as you know, that's what I'm doing too. So what do you think is the best advice to save time in the implementation process?
An implementation process. Well, to have a proper like sub-segmented like design in the beginning, which is honestly like global to any game engine. Another thing is to try to find like a dedicated source of educational content related to only Godot. There's a lot of content creators online that are just dedicated to Godot and Godot tutorials. Find them, just archive them, just like have a channel in your Discord that's just full of like, okay, this person makes Godot content, this person makes Godot, all of these. And then whenever you have an idea, because I know you program, I know you, Ahmed. So you know the concepts, you just need to know the execution of them. So you go look through these, and then you could also go look through documentation. Godot is not doesn't really have the best documentation, but it has one of the better documentations. So that's it's just something that you have to probably do, and that goes for basically every engine, except maybe if there's some engine that I'm not aware of that doesn't have good documentation, then maybe avoid that. But a lot of the times it's documentations and knowing people that make tutorials, and then also in our Discord we have the engine channels, the Godot, Unity, and Unreal channels. You could always just go ask there, and I'm certain all of us will try to help you with any question that you might have related to your game engine or any bug or any technical issue you encounter. Or if you're looking for tutorials, you're looking for channels to learn something from, we would recommend you something in there.
Well, absolutely. Thank you, Ahmed, for this answer. One thing to add to this as well. Um, forget learning generals in engines. Yani always find something that you need to learn inside the engine and learn that. So for example, don't learn how to make an inventory system, full stop. If you're making a Minecraft inventory, it's going to be very different from for example, I don't know, Call of Duty inventory or something of the sort, which is very different from a Binding of Isaac inventory, which is very different from whatever. Learn like knowing what you need exactly and working on tutorials and that is going to be so much better for you than learning how to do something in general. لأنه the general can be expanded upon by a lot, whereas the specific is something that will actually get you where you need to get to. So that's super important. So we have a question from Ziad that I missed. I don't know, as a Lean as well, you may be interested in answering this. If this is my first time making a game, what exactly do I need to get started besides passion? So I think all of us will have something to say to this.
I think so. For me, I think it is really just diving in. Okay, you have a game, get your engine, Unity or Godot, whichever one you prefer. I recently dabbled with Godot and I really, really like it. But you can do whatever you want. Uh-huh. And then, like Ahmed said, حتى find tutorials and follow tutorials. Try to have fun with it. Don't bore yourself to death. لأنه you want to keep that passion. بس المهم have a hands-on approach. To me, that's what usually helps, especially because I like building something and then seeing it get built, seeing it interact, seeing it change with what I'm doing with it. Following a tutorial, make it small, as you're just starting out, أكيد. And that's basically it for me. يعني, okay, you have the passion for it, think of your idea and start tinkering. Dive right into it.
Awesome. Great answer. Thank you, Lean. Ahmad?
I mean, Lynn's answer is honestly great. I would only really add to it is try to find what is like this like if this is you're completely brand new, which is what I'm assuming, is to understand like what is the steps of, going like what should you make first versus what should you make last. Because for example, if you're trying to make tic-tac-toe, you should not make the victory screen before you make, the grid and the interaction between the X and O. Is understanding, okay, I need to go with a structure in mind. It's not doesn't need to be something completely complicated, something completely fancy. Just be like, okay, what makes sense to work on now, What makes sense to learn right now?
Well, I think the most important thing as well is um other than passion, passion burns out, by the way. You're gonna be unpassionate soon enough. So it's very important to actually set a schedule for yourself. Make the game. I'm gonna like steal a line from Shrek, the first movie. Make it like an onion. So basically, start with layers. Start with the most basic core layer, which includes the minimum things that you need to make the game run. يعني مثلا let's say that you wanted to make a platformer like the old Mario games. I'll always refer to that generally when talking about stuff because it's a very, very good game design study. Um, the thing that Mario needs is it needs Mario to be able to move forward and backwards. It needs Mario to be able to jump. It needs Mario to be able to grab the flag and win the level. These are the basic things that you need to get the game running. After that, the kind of things you need might be an enemy that can hit you. You're gonna need a like spikes or something to fall through, and you're going to need stuff to jump over or under or whatever. But this is the second step of the stuff that you need to build. So your core layer is getting Mario to move left and right and jump. The layer after that is getting like having like a win section. The layer after that is having enemies for you to hit and to die and to lose and to win with. So I highly recommend the game development, sorry, the programming sessions that we've had last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. Most of the tutorials we have are in Unity, but they will offer you everything that I mentioned right now. So anything that has to do with starting your first platformer, this is the kind of place that you can start reading and learning about them. And if you guys need these tutorials to be given again, we're more than happy to do so. But yeah, it's up to you guys as well to let us know what you need. So to summarize, make something tiny, put an actual schedule, follow up with it, and complete the thing that you have to do. It's very important that you complete it. All right? Well, this is why we're here, Build Gaming Academy, and this is why we're giving you milestones to reach from now until the end of the program. All right, so I talked quite a bunch. Huda's asking, I'm currently learning how to use Unity. By the way, I'm an absolute beginner and I got interested in game dev. So is the Godot engine similar to Unity's? Lean, I think, I don't know, Ahmed, as you've used both, but I know Lean
Actually,
used both. Have you both used both?
I've used both, yeah. I've used
Amazing.
all three, but
Okay,
I would
cool.
actually answer
Oh,
this question in a very simple way. So,
go for
if
it.
you think you want to exclusively like make really beautiful looking 3D games and in the future, not right now, in the future, you cannot make that right now. In the future, consider Unreal. If you're looking to only make like 2D pixel art games, side scrollers, like solitaire games, card games, stuff like that, Godot is a really good option as well. If you're not sure, go with Unity. That's something that I heard someone say. I'm stealing it, so I don't remember who said that, but it's something that really made sense to me. If you're going with 3D, very vast, very open world stuff, it's Unreal. That's like your real option there. If it's 2D exclusive, Godot. If you're not sure, Unity is like a best of both worlds, though it has some of its downsides, but they're irrelevant to you as a beginner.
Yep, absolutely. Lean, do you have anything to add to this? You can also just emote if you.
Um, so I've been using Unity for so long, and until like a few months ago, I knew nothing about Godot. So بس in my معتصم we were making like a little project in Godot, so I had to learn it. And I have to say the knowledge I had from Unity did translate well into Godot, except for the scenes and the nodes. That was something I really had to like learn from scratch, or مش scratch. No, I had to change my way of thinking when it came to learning with Godot, working with Godot, I mean. But Anjali script kinda, but I think it translates pretty well. Like your knowledge from one engine to the other. بهالحالة I haven't really tried Unreal Engine much, but it translates pretty well. But there is like a core difference in logic حسب ما أنا شفت from my own experience يعني.
Uh, there's something I would like to add to what Lynn said, is that a lot of the engines, even sometimes iterations between engines, have like fundamental like development differences, but that should not really be concerning to someone that's just starting out. It's there and there are concepts that can be learned, but most of the actual development, most of the core development, like Lynn said, is typically the same across all engines. So just start with whatever feels right for you and whatever you feel like you'll be more motivated to keep working with. That's why I focus more on like what type of games do they excel at making.
Yeah. Oh, I think one thing that's important to note as well is Unity and Unreal have been around for a while, for they have a ton of tutorials and a ton of resources. Godot is growing and it's
Mhm.
growing very quickly, and the community is super duper helpful. One thing to add as well to what Ahmed was saying is if you want to make mobile games, Unity is the way to go as well. لأنه the rest of the engines are not as efficient, let's say, at making stuff for both Apple and Android. But yeah, I think I agree with
True.
everything that you guys said overall. The problem with Unreal, for example, is that you need a powerful computer to be able to run it. The problem with Unity
Mhm.
is that the leadership is not sometimes taking silly decisions, let's say. The problem with Godot is that it's too young and it's good for lightweight games. So it really depends on what you guys want to make. But I think at this level and at this point in time, whatever you're starting with, just go ahead with it. Yani, Unity is easy to start with, Godot is easy to start with, Unreal is easy to start with. And once you're good to go, as Lean said, you're able to transition from one to another. So you should be good to go from that end as well. Awesome. So we have a question from Hiba that was already answered, but still. I've never done this before. So I draw and do 2D animations on CSP and Procreate. Do these work for games? Kareem, one of our previous volunteers, and the guy that's making all the posters, said yes, you just need to learn how to export them efficiently. So I actually don't know if either of you are artists and if you usually export stuff into Unity or Unreal or something of the sort as well, or if you've used any of these programs before. Thus, what do you guys use, or what have your teams used before to actually build games? Whether it's for programming, art, music, design as well,
Uh,
etc.
I've had teammates that would use Photoshop, and I've had teammates that would use uh, what's it called? The one on iPad?
مش pro.
Procreate?
Yeah, Procreate. And I've had a teammate that used Clip Studio before, and honestly, it's just understanding how to export it is like the most important aspect. There's a lot of like tutorials for them, but it's basically the idea of, making sprite sheets and knowing how to export them, knowing how to maybe like do you need to disable any form of anti-aliasing or any kernel processing if you're making a pixel art game and etc. They're all very like there is tenfolds of enough tutorials that you could find related to the sprite sheets and how to export them and import them into game engines.
Awesome. Um, yeah, I guess as well to answer the question from my end, um, the teams that I've worked with have used everything from Unity to Unreal, to Godot. We've used Procreate for art. We've used what's it called? Canva as well at some point. We've used Figma to also export and create elements. We've also gotten free resources from things like OpenArt, opengameart.org, I think. Also Kenny's assets, KENNEY.NL, for example. He's great. For music, we've done everything from FL Studio to just free music resources that were open as well, for people to use. We've hired people that have just done their own thing because they already know their own tools. What matters is you use something you're comfortable with. I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Um, awesome. All right. So Ziad's asking, I know how to program and I have a game idea already, but I'm a complete beginner at drawing. I just want to learn enough to create my own game assets. Do you have any playlist recommendations or a learning path you should follow? Um,
What
honestly,
type of game?
honestly,
2D or
yeah,
3D?
absolutely. That's a very good question, first of all. Is it 2D or 3D? Actually, Ahmed, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Is it a 2D game or is it a 3D game? The two vastly different workflows.
What would you recommend for each?
For 2D, there is a lot of resources that you could find through like a very quick search for like how to animate well, basically the simplest thing would be like pixel art, like just doing your own thing. It will take you some time to get a character going, but then animating it, all that stuff. I think there will be there's a certain tutorial that like series that I found before. I could dig up and try to. If you message me on Discord, I could find it for you. In terms of 3D, you could probably like go with Blender and start with the donut, just to understand how Blender works. And then there is a guy, I don't remember his name. He made like a tutorial series on how to make very heavily stylized, like box shaped characters, and it's basically like a 7 video series, and you get to make a character all the way from rigging it, making it texture, rigging, and animation, even facial animation with the textures. So it takes you through that whole loop, and you can make basically all of this within the scope of the Gaming Academy because they're all very simple tutorials that you can actually just follow. It's not gonna be, like a triple A or even double A quality, but there are things that if you want to be the one like making all the art yourself, those are like the two realistic options to chase. You could message me on Discord, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with these resources.
Awesome. Thank you, Ahmed. Um, Also, just generally, I think one of the best resources is friends that you make along the way. I'm not even kidding. Just ask
Hmm.
us as you go along and start to learn new things. Ask us what you need. Uh, كمان هلا أنا as someone that's been in the games industry for what, like 6 years now, 7 years? I don't know. Um, it's uh, I don't know how to do art, honestly. I know how to work with art once I have it in my hands, but I don't know how to do anything with it. So I always rely on friends, on different artists, on people we hire, etc., to actually get the things done. So sometimes it's okay for you not to learn everything. You can rely on others as well to help you make your thing. But again, if you want to learn everything yourself, then that's a completely different story, and that's also highly encouraged. Like it's good for you to know how to use it, but also don't feel that you need to learn everything just so you can do everything solo. Um, yes, we've been having so many jokes about like, what was it again? There was the support academy or something of the sort that you guys called it as well instead of the gaming academy. Where was it? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, basically, feel free to always ask us for support and always ask us to help you out.
Motivation Academy.
Yeah, Motivation Academy, that's what it was. Yep. Well, as Jana said, actually, one super important thing is whenever you go to different events and stuff, make friends, not connections. Connections are basically just going to be very solid. It's not going to be very fun. Whereas when you make friends, these are the people that are going to actually help you out. So the fun thing as well, fun fact, most of the speakers that you're gonna see this year at the Gaming Academy are people that like I grew to become friends with over time. And it's just because of one dinner, because of a hangout, because of some game or some anime that we found that we both enjoy, and then we just started chatting, and then since we're both experts in our own like respective fields, we were able to come together and give you guys these talks. So, um, يعني, the connections that you make are what will get you places much more. Sorry, the friends that you make are what are going to get you the connections much more than anything else. Because if you ever need something, they will know someone that does something. So yeah. All right. I think these are the questions we have at the moment. Oh, someone was recommending Blender Guru on YouTube for 3D stuff in Blender. I'm
Oh,
checking
Kareem screen
any other
sharing.
questions. Um, ask away. So we have one question from Adam on Discord. I'll wait for him to type it out. And until then, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. What is this? Who's sharing their board?
Yes, Kareem.
Kareem, is this you? Oh, بالغلط. Okay, let me close it then. That's fine. Can I screen share to show something? Minty, what do you want to show? Sure. Should be fine. Let me see. Do you need access to screen share or can you share it at the moment? دغري. Uh, let's see. Um, Rena, are you with us? Can you give Minty the ability to share screen, please? All right. So Adam's
I
asking,
think she can or they can share. They don't need permission.
can you share, Minty? Is a like let me know you try this out. I'm just gonna read Adam's question as well. How to deal with the lack of senior animator. I didn't have the chance to meet any senior animators that I can learn from, and each time I find a new job, I find myself working with no good senior who can help me and give me experience. Are there any advanced courses or communities for animators who are willing to educate juniors? So, do you guys want to answer this or should I?
I don't really know any, sorry.
No worries.
I don't know something specific about like animators.
Hmm.
Uh, but what I do know is that I used to, when I didn't have good connections, is I used to just try to talk to people on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and like one out of five people would reply, but then like one out of five other people that reply would actually answer, follow through with answering questions. So just,
Mhm.
I don't know, I would sometimes message people like that when I was curious about sound in games.
Mm.
So
Okay,
that's something that I personally did.
that's pretty smart صراحة.
وفي كمان we had some really really good gaming academy courses when it came to animations. I know they
Mhm.
really left a mark on me. I also remember Ala.
Yeah.
I remember I drew a stick man and I tried to animate him walking and he told me to wobble the head more.
Yes.
So even in the gaming academy, if you check the YouTube archive, you could find really good ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, actually. That's a very good point. Thank you, Lynn. Um, so yeah, you can check some of the people that we have. Ala Fleifel is actually a very, very excellent animator. He's done some quite beautiful award-winning videos as well in movies. But so you're looking for 3D animators instead, you can also check out, let me see. We have quite a few people in the Gaming Academy that are willing to help out. I'll give you their names soon enough. I think on he's Palatheus, I think on Discord. So you can check that out if you would like. I think that's him. Uh, I'll see if there's anyone else as well. But generally, yeah. Um, Reach out to people on LinkedIn. But okay, so part of the ways to reach out to people on LinkedIn as well. When you want to connect with them, actually tell them what you need. All right. So be like, hello, I am blank and I am doing this and this. And I'd love your feedback on my work. And then there's a good chance that if you ask them nicely, that they will reply and they will say yes. Don't try to just cold add someone because a lot of times people will not add someone they don't know. Okay. So, make sure that you give people the space to get to know exactly what you need from them. All right. Second of all, don't be pushy. Okay. Don't you're not entitled to their time, but so they're willing to help. Make sure that you actually tell them that you appreciate their help. So it's not just, hey, check my work. How do I fix this? Okay, and then come back the next day. I fixed this. Look, 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 quick, look. How do I fix this more? Like be actually nice. Well, as we've mentioned, as Jana said, make friends, not connections. So doing this is what's going to build the kind of things that you do and the ability for you to do things. And that's also how you secretly get a mentor. That's by talking to people and being nice and seeing if they can reply in any way, shape, or form. That's how you slowly start to grow the the friendship that you have basically, and the ability and the skills of people to come and join you out. Secretly get a mentor does sound evil. Yeah, I agree. Ziad just shared some of the first assets that he drew, and honestly, they're pretty cool. So I don't think you guys can all see them. But it's a bunch of potions, a bunch of lightning and hearts and faces and coins and stuff. It's really, really cool, actually. Well done. I really like what
Yeah,
you've
good job,
done.
man.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Was it Milky? Who was it? Okay. So I think Minty, until you're able to share or not share, can you share actually, Minty? Can you try now? All right. Okay. I can see your screen.
Is it working?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. So, long story short, I've been trying to work on a game,
Mm-hmm.
but straight up, because of how lazy I am, and because I don't really have the time to learn like low-level languages like C++ or anything, I've been straight up doing it in Python. But I'm actually like getting help from my friend too. But so far we barely have anything done. Like here, let me try running it. Script and this. All right, wait, let me load the game's volume. So first of all, it loads into the actual games thing because we're like still working on it. Like we have movement working and that's it.
Amazing.
But
And you've done it in Python.
yep, I'm actually using Raylib,
Okay.
which I'm gonna have to like change soon because I'm really like relying way too much on Ray GUI.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is still under development and under maintenance. This doesn't do anything yet. Options, I'm working on that. I got the FPS thing to work,
Nice.
but the resolution is still broken. Like
Mm.
it changes it, but it doesn't actually change the window.
Size of the screen, yeah.
Um, like even here. So, and one more thing, like here, it breaks for
Mm-hmm.
no reason.
Mm.
And when you close the game and like reopen it, like here, I'll show you. These are like the config.
Mm-hmm.
I'll open the game. They will return to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a moment. I haven't like been able to get this to stop working. If we change it, it does change.
Mm-hmm.
And like here, close the game. The moment you launch it, it just goes back to default for some
Mm.
reason.
Mm-mm. Okay, it might have to do with the way that you're saving the data.
Yeah.
Yep, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So the config part is being handled by my friend.
Mm-hmm.
This part is just to make the config if it's not there, because like, okay, I was on Linux, so I'm struggling a bit here, but
Mhm.
where was update? I think roaming. Yep. So this is the config file. Like, even if I just delete it, open the game again, you'll find that. Oh, I closed it. Fuck. Like here, this factory, data roaming. You'll find that it makes itself again.
Mhm.
It creates a config,
Yeah.
and yeah,
But do you
but
go
I
back and
still
read it? Do you check for it in the code?
wait. I didn't hear you. The
When you
game was too
create
low.
You most
when you
probably
create the
do it.
save, do you like go read, try to check what's in there first before you run the game?
I think he may actually be missing the reading part. No, it keeps recreating the file every time. So it doesn't check
No,
if it actually exists.
like it does check if it exists, if I remember correctly. Like here.
Izzy, you'd like, let's talk about this on Discord after the session is done. I think it would
Of
give us more
course.
time to give a look at this. But that's really cool. Well done صراحة. يعني مثل ما you've seen guys يعني you don't have to make a game in Unity, Unreal, and Godot. It can be in Python if you prefer. This
That's
is totally
crazy,
fine
yeah.
as well. It's really,
I
really cool.
chose
Someone said
Spain.
they made their first game in Terminal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what who was it?
CLI games are the best.
Yeah. صح.
I'll stop sharing for now because my internet is almost dead.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, awesome. So I guess 30 seconds or like 10 seconds of advice. Make sure that you're reading the data from the right place. And make sure that you're actually writing the data in the right place as well when you open the game. These are like the two most important things I would say for now. Cool. Thank you for sharing. Guys,
It
so
was my pleasure.
later on we will have a bit of time as well for you guys to share your games. So it'll be dedicated for you guys to ask us questions about the stuff that you're building and all that. So Ahmad Muz, we have a question for you from Mustafa. What's your way of validating a new game system or mechanic before fully implementing it? Also, since you specialize in combat design, how do you ensure that the combat stays balanced between the player and enemies throughout development? I'm gonna tag you with the question again so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah. How do I validate a game idea or like a game system or mechanic idea before fully implementing it? There's like a couple ways depending on what it is. One way is to, if it's like something very complicated and etc., then you actually try to prototype it in a different environment than the actual game itself. So if like you have a full game going on and then you wanna prototype this leveling mechanic and then you gain stats and stuff like that, just go prototype it in an empty project. So it doesn't have any conflicts. So it's really easy to just get it quick and dirty. That's one way to validate it. A lot of other times, it's something that you need to validate on paper. So it's like, okay, does this idea like when you, I'm not sure how to say it without saying that you need to kind of standardize some systems to validate things if it's on paper. But basically, when you're creating your game design document, a lot of times you have objectives and a lot of things in mind. You need to write all of these down. You need to put, I want my game to feel like this, the game core loop to stay within this, and all of this. Just the things that you ambition for in your head, put it on paper so it's in front of you, and then take that mechanic or system and go through it. Does it bypass all of these in a positive manner? Is it like, is it fun? Is it a part of the scope? Is it a part of this? Is it too big? Is it too small? look for other games that sometimes it's an idea from other games or it's an idea similar to other games and look at their approach of making that mechanic or system. And again, at the end of the day, if you're still uncertain out past all of this, prototype it in a simplified environment. And how do you make sure a balance stays between the enemy and the player? So the enemy, so just like there is a combat design, there's like, the character combat design, there is enemy design. Um, and when you're creating this and when you're creating that, one of them has to be more important than the other. I'm talking in a PvE game. In a PvP game, it's a completely different thing. But again, in the game design document, you have, your goals, your objectives, your fantasy you're trying to achieve. So you put some rules in place. You design an idea, just design it on paper, just like words. I want the fantasy of someone that holds a really, really, really big sword, swings it really, really, really big areas, and then just destroys things. That's the fantasy that you have. So then you just start designing tools or not tools, things that make that fantasy come to reality within that the standardization that you made. And that kind of standardization, the more you get better, like the better you are at combat design, or like the more experienced you are, the more comfortable you are, you can find yourself like making really unique ideas or really entertaining ideas and then prototype them. Again, it all loops back into prototyping or finding inspiration and etc. And how to keep them balanced between each other is if you start designing the character first, you need to start designing the enemy afterwards. And the enemy can't do something that the character can't solve, unless that's intended, like a one-shot mechanic or something. Though I personally don't prefer those. But you're designing, it's basically when you're designing something, you need to always be like, okay, the character can do this, can hypothetically do this, and that to answer to this, and can do this, and that to answer to this. And that's how you can make a balance on paper before validating through playtesting and prototyping. And sometimes on paper is not enough. Sometimes you're going to make a design that's on paper balanced, but then in reality, you actually added like one extra zero. So this attack is not really a one shot, but it deals 100% of your HP. Therefore, it's a one shot and it's unavoidable. So then you need to tweak this. It's a lot of back and forth, but on paper, you need to have an answer for everything. So there's no like one thing that that an enemy does, but the character can't do, because then that's unfair. And no one wants to play an unfair game.
Awesome. Perfect. Great answer. Um, Mustafa, Ahmed, Mustafa, let us know if Ahmed answered your question and if you have any other questions about this as well.
Mhm.
Cool. Awesome. Let me see if there's anything else. Mahmoud asked, he said, I started learning Unity a month ago and I only depend on YouTube. Should I learn from a paid course or something, or I'll be fine with the free stuff? Absolutely, you'll be fine with the free stuff, 100%, especially if there's something specific that you're trying to learn. Most likely it's available on YouTube. As you start to get deeper and deeper into making larger games, you might need support, but the support will not come from the side of courses. It would come from the side of mentors and experienced people. So that's a different story. But if you're just starting out, generally you would not need courses, to be honest. Free is more than enough. All right. Also, Minty Stroke said that the game that they're making, the one in Python, is open source. So if anyone wants to try it, you can try it out. Um, cool. Awesome. Let me see if there's anything else as well. Jace is saying, I highly recommend picking up Dungeons and Dragons as a dungeon master if you want to better understand satisfying player fantasy. It's a very fun way to learn. Honestly, absolutely. D&D is a great, great way for you guys to actually look into the power play fantasy and creating something that's actually fun and entertaining for people and not just for yourself. Um, so yeah, perfect. And actually, speaking of D&D, just take it to not rant, but I finished reading something by a guy called Brandon Sanderson recently. It's called the Stormlight Archive, and he has his own like Dungeons and Dragons version of everything from his universe. So that's really, really, really been exciting as well. For expand your horizons into different games, especially ones that have to do with role playing, because that's one of the best ways to create games where you can give people the right kind of like power play and power fantasy. All right. I think that's it in terms of questions. Do we have anything else? If we do, someone just like throw in a
And I'd like to add something to Mahmoud's question,
go for it.
um, where he was asking about paid or free courses. What you said was perfect. I was also thinking that, and like, I never really had to pay for a course. Usually when I was making my own games, خاصة if there's a specific mechanic, I would just search that up. But I do recommend this playlist because Stardew Valley is what got me like really into game development, and so this playlist is like Stardew Valley like game in Unity if I was super interested in it. It's pretty fun to follow and it's just a recommendation.
Great.
Actually, can I add something on that as well?
Yes, but let me
So,
just specify one quick thing. So for anyone that
mhm,
watches this video, in case you don't see the link, it is the Stardew Valley-like game in Unity by Greg Dev Stuff. All right, cool. Ahmed,
mhm.
go for it.
Actually, like the first time I tried to make games, which I failed miserably, I did actually buy a paid course, and the amount of things I learned from it were like okay, but pretty much all the content that was within it was free elsewhere, and I just needed to look like for 5 more minutes longer. Basically the same time that I actually put in my payment information to find the same resource online for free. So most of the things that you could learn are available online. If you want to pay, if you have the money and you kind of just want to throw it somewhere, maybe some people would like that. There is some content creators that dedicate their time to education that then just like have like Patreon or something, and then they provide like private tutors, and then that's actually been very beneficial more than a course. And then you could, subscribe to their Patreon or something. It's going to be like a very small amount of money, and then you can get like a private session with them and show them your progress and ask them questions per directly. Uh, that way, like that's one way to use your money to assist yourself doing that. But you don't need to. Like what I need to say is like you definitely don't need to spend any money to learn anything related to programming, game design, or I think 2D art. But when you enter 3D and like VFX and stuff, a lot of things are indeed unfortunately hard to find without going through like proper academic studying. Oh, not academic, but like uh, paywall things.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, again, don't forget that people are out there and willing to help out, you know? One of the jokes that I saw recently was like about, oh yeah, evil scientists are hiding everything from us. And it's like, have you ever spoken to a scientist? They want nothing more than to talk about the research. It's kind of the same thing for a lot of game devs and a lot of artists. Like they want nothing more than to share their love for their craft with others, especially since game dev is very much like a creative industry. So we want to help out and we want to see you guys succeed. So again, um, accidentally or like evilly or like sneak and get someone to mentor you. It works. Trust me. So yeah, at the end, any questions answer is going to be it depends, and it really sometimes depends on what kind of thing you want to do. So yeah, all right. So Ahmed said one more thing, Moz yani. There's a game jam that gives away one paid course for free per participant in a team. That was one way to get a bunch of free courses with my friends. Yes, I think it was Game Dev TV, right?
Yeah, I think it's Game.tv. Yeah.
Yeah. Game Dev TV
They have
actually.
some courses about multiplayer, which is like,
uh,
the more niche topic, and I got them for free.
yes, absolutely. These are topics that you definitely need. So Game Dev TV is something that actually did help me out with my career, to be very honest. It was because they gave me a very structured way of studying and learning how to make games, and I needed that because that's just the way I learn. So this was a case where like having a paid course helped, but so no, I just had one course. I didn't have all of the courses. Having said this, Jace also mentioned that Humble Bundle is a place to get stuff. Sometimes Game Dev TV and other people as well, they partner with Humble Bundle and give you like 100, 200, $300 worth of courses for $15 or $20. For that's something to also look into as well, if you're interested in paying for courses. But the number of people that have paid for courses and then didn't actually use them is is a lot. So. don't spend money just because you think you're going to learn something. Learn something on YouTube. Much better. All right, طيب. I think this is it in terms of questions. Um, طيب. Thank you guys so much for attending. If you have anything else, feel free to hop into Discord and ask us. As a quick reminder, you can still ask your friends to join and be a part of the Gaming Academy. It's still open. Any questions you have, you can throw them on the questions page in Discord. If you have not taken your roles yet, please do so. لأنه this is what we're going to tag you guys with whenever something specific happens. You will get an email this week, I think, or maybe next week, to submit your teams and your game idea. So once this happens, just make sure to do that basically. So yeah, Jace asked, when do we start with our games? You can start as soon as yesterday, to be honest. It's totally fine. But so you need any support anywhere, let us know. And again, if you're looking for teammates or looking to build a team, feel free to also write everything inside the team formation section. And once you're done, we'll let you know how to change your names on Discord to make sure that you're able to find your teammates or get more people to join your teams and stuff. All right? Cool. Oh, also, final thing when it comes to your games, I should probably write this via email. Um, yes, we encourage you guys to submit digital games, obviously, Unity, Unreal, Python as well. Even to a certain extent, I've seen people submit games in PowerPoint. That was very fun, to be honest. Um, if you're interested in making either like card games or board games or something that's physical instead of digital, you can let us know as well. So this would be totally fun and it would be something fun to do because again, we want to make sure that you guys actually make something fun. So yeah, um, cool. I think that's it from my end. Yes, we've had PowerPoint. Um, is that you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask me on Discord. I'll be hopping in there for a bit after the session. And that's about it. Lean Ahmed, thank you so much for your insight. This was really wonderful. So, well, thank you again, everyone, for attending as well. Yalla, we'll speak soon.
I'll be in
Bye-bye.
the
Thank
Discord stuff as
you.
well. Bye bye.